So this is going to be a really strange Star Citizen video. It's not about spaceships. It's not about how the game is being made. This is a theatrical review, a lighting designer's review of their presentation at Gamescom 2017 for Star Citizen. And I spent 20 years in theater as an electrician and lighting designer. I've worked in just about every type of theater there can be. I've worked in also film and television and music videos and commercials, so I have a very broad range of experience. And I love Cloud Imperium games, I love Star Citizen, and I would really like to see their presentation improve, and I think it could be done pretty easily, so I'm going to try and point out some places where it didn't work so well, and maybe how it could have been a little bit better. Here we go.
And without further ado, I am going to introduce the man who you've all been waiting for, Chris Roberts.
So we see our first presenter, Sandy Gardner, turning stage left here to walk off stage and hand the presentation over to Chris Roberts. We see that her outfit is mostly white with some black stripes, and we see her shoulder and her arm, and she's really not lit very well. I would estimate that maybe 30-35% of the light's output is hitting her unless it's just a truly poor quality light. My guess is they're trying to do this, they're trying to keep it at a low percentage to keep bounce from the floor from hitting the screen behind her, well, now to her left. Still, it's not a lot of light either for the camera that's recording this or even probably for the audience that are present. And then when you take in the whole balance of the scene with the fellow over on stage right, who is being hit with the cool blue light from his face cam light, his red keyboard, the balance really kind of doesn't work. But that's not so important as the simple fact that there's just not enough light, but it's about to get a bit worse.
Good to see you guys tonight. Are we having fun? Yeah.
There are nightmares that keep lighting designers up during productions. One of them is the actor, the presenter, the talent that won't stay in their light. Now, it's kind of hard to blame Chris as he drifts in and out of his light because it's not a very natural thing to do. Standing in your light hurts your eyes, it makes you hot, it's just not very much fun. However, if you want to be on stage and you want to be seen, you do need to stand in your light, and the best piece of advice to be seen by the light is to look at your eyelashes. If you look at your eyelashes, if you are aware of them, and you see little halos in your eyelashes, this is an effect called halation, it means that the light can see you and you can be seen. If you can't see little halos in your eyelashes, you need to move around and find your light. Now let's stop here for a moment. If we look just behind Chris, we can see that the bounce light from the floor is bleeding a bit onto the screen behind him. And that might be why the level is low for Chris and for Sandy, or it may simply be that they actually just really don't like the light that much. Either way, I think there might be a solution for them. Okay, so how would I fix this? Well, I wanted to show you images of theatrical side lighting positions, of lighting booms, lighting trees, but I couldn't find any that would actually demonstrate the point, so I had to get a little exotic and borrow some lights from Fallout 4. Now these are going to be terrible analogs for theatrical lighting. They're not focused, they don't have shutters. Shutters are things in lights that you can use to occlude light, either from the left or right or top or bottom, but I think they will give us what we need to see. So let's get started here. We have a high front on stage right, we have high front stage left, we also have a side lighting position on stage left, and a side lighting position on stage right. We have our lovely and talented lighting model, power armor, and we have a wall back here to simulate that screen. So let's kick on the high front lights. And there we go. We can see our lighting model very well, but we also get some spill on the back wall here. You can see that little rusty color portion up there a little bit better than you can see it here. So we are getting spill. And if we step inside our lighting model, which is awesome because it doesn't have to move, we can see that the lights are in our eyes in the upper left and upper right. So if it's the light in your eyes that's bothering you, high fronts are going to be a problem. High top lights aren't going to help you because they'll put shadows in your eye sockets and under your nose and make you generally not look quite as pleasant. So you really want high front. Now if we kill our high fronts and come over here, we can kick on our side lights. And side lights have been used by dance for a very long time to very good effect because you want to see the body. You want to see it as it moves, but you don't want to be distracted by light. So what do we see with our side light here? We see our lighting model very well. We have no spill on our back wall, and remember, theatrical lights are focusable and have these shutters, so we can actually cut the spill off the floor as well. We can literally make it look like the person that we're trying to hit with the light is just standing in mystical light coming out of nowhere. It is an awesome solution for what they're trying to do because, like I said, we have no spill on the screen, and if we get inside our lighting model and take a look at our view, we no longer have lights in our eyes. So the presenter doesn't really have to worry about it. Now, if we turn a little bit, we see these side lights. But the reality of the matter is that if we were to do this to scale with theatrical lights, these side lighting positions would be off over here. So the presenter would literally have to turn all the way to the left or right to be distracted or disturbed by them. So for the Star Citizen presentation, I really think side lighting would be their friend. Now we had that fellow who was over here with his PC, and again, the side light that's coming towards us from stage left over there, we would just use a shutter cut to occlude him, and he wouldn't be picked up by this theatrical side light. Okay, moving on. Okay, so next up I want to make a case for stage management. What this presentation really needs is a good stage manager. Theater and film do things very differently. We are similar, but we are not the same. And this is a theatrical production, and what they need is a stage manager. A stage manager is essentially the linchpin around which everything else revolves. They're not the star of the show, but without them, the show doesn't go on around the star. Chris is trying to do a little bit too much all at once. He's trying to interact with everyone. He's trying to direct where the camera will go. He's trying to stay in essentially some kind of contact with the players, and it's not really working out. Somehow they're not hearing him. Somehow, I don't think it's that they don't want to be paying attention. Either they're distracted or they're not able to be paying attention. So what they need is stage management. You have an overall stage manager who is going to control everything. They will probably have secondary ASMs, assistant stage managers. And if I were to guess, your primary stage manager would assign secondary ASMs, their assistants, with the groups of players, and literally have those ASMs with a hand on their shoulder. Now, stage management usually is conducted through a system called ClearCom or another wired headset system. It can't be interrupted. It can't be cut unless all power is cut. And it's really effective. So essentially what would happen is that Chris would say, okay, let's switch to this view. The stage manager hears it, instantly tells the person who's going to do it, because the stage manager's only job is to be listening for that. So instead of this, where we see Chris with 14 radios and earpieces and essentially making himself a spider's web of communications, you would literally just have him saying, okay, and let's switch to Glenn's view, and it would just magically happen. That's what stage management does. They make the things happen magically. They are amazing. And well, yeah, that might cost something, but I would really recommend it. It would seriously up the game of your presentation. You could take that out of perhaps the subscribers. You could pay it out of pocket. You could probably go to a local university and entice some stage management students for internship. So it's something that you could do, and it would be worth it, I think, in your long run. Okay, so what's the takeaway from all of this? Well, that not every theatrical production goes according to plan, and I'm going to say to some degree that game development is probably quite similar, if not even more prone to that sort of thing. There are so many more moving parts, so much more complexity, and believe me, theatrical production can be incredibly complex. If you ever get the chance, take a look backstage at something like Les Mis or Miss Saigon or whatever the newer shows are these days. It's been a while for me. Anyway, this is my best advice to Cloud Imperium Games, just to offer some theatrical solutions to what I've seen. Trying to, I suppose, be an armchair designer, but also because I love Cloud Imperium Games and I love Star Citizen and I love the idea of this game and what they're doing with it. Yeah, it's going to take time, but I'm okay with that. I've been around for a while, and I remember Chris Roberts games from when I was in college, and they were awesome. They were something to truly look forward to, and I see the promise in Star Citizen. Not that it's really all that hard to see anymore when you see people playing together in a ship and landing inside a ship and taking off from inside of a ship. This is something truly special. So thank you to Cloud Imperium Games. Thank you for the presentation, and thank all of you for watching. I hope you found the video informative and maybe just a little entertaining. I would like to invite you to subscribe, like, and to share if you so desire, and to ask you, above all, to please take care.